dreams on display. The EVP show keeps the drama in play. It's good. Let's go, where the heroes rise and the legends grow. CJP brings the shots, you know. The EVP show is out of control.
What is going on, everyone? It's the EVP from the EVP show, and I am back again. Wow, there's just no rest for the wicked. Wrestling after wrestling after wrestling after wrestling. Definitely gonna enjoy a day off tomorrow. Got the new background going in the back with the I don't know what's going on here. Just 1 second. Got to figure something out. Okay, I got it. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, so I'm back live, obviously, with my first ever. What's up, Edward? With my first ever WWE NXT recap. Man, this show was crazy. Like, so much stuff going on. It was really hard to keep up with. Like, I truthfully, I just started watching NXT probably about 3 to 4 months ago, maybe tops. So yeah, it was a whole lot to keep up with tonight, but it was a top notch episode. I've been saying this for a while. I really feel like NXT is, especially like even the women's division over there, like they're competing very good with the WWE. So, you know, just hats off to NXT. Shawn Michaels and them doing a great job over there. So basically, we got the announced team for tonight. Well, every week, Vic Joseph, Corey Graves, and Booker T. And then ring announcing tonight will be Mike Rome. So kicking off the NXT tonight, we saw Blake Monroe, which I'm loving Blake as a heel. I thought she was better, like when they first brought her in, like as a face. I was just like I love Blake. I love Mariah when she was in AEW, but I wasn't really getting the vibes of her being a face. So for me, it made more sense to turn her heel. But she opens the show. And then obviously in the back, like they're showing someone arriving. Looks like trying to step out like a SUV or something like that. I think it was like a black SUV. To be 100% sure on that. But we kick off the show. Blake and Tiffany. I don't know. I don't really see it. Honestly, with them two. I mean, they have some similarities, but you know, I don't know. I'm a bigger fan of Blake, I think. But kicking off tonight, we got sorry, we got Blake Monroe going up against Kalani Jordan. Which, yeah, I agree, Edward. Blake is greater than Tiffany, I think. But we'll see. Like, she's gonna be on NXT for a while, then she'll get called up to the main roster. I just got this new background with this Clash in Paris, so like, hopefully it doesn't like make me disappear off the screen, or I might have to find a different one for sure. So we get Blake and Kalani Jordan tonight. The match was okay. It didn't really go it didn't go long. Because obviously we saw Jordan Grace. She come out with the neck brace on. And she basically just chased Blake Monroe out of the ring. Blake runs out like it looks like it was either raining at that time or it had been raining, like they're stomping through puddles and all that. So Jordan's selling that neck injury from what Blake did to her previously. But yeah, so Blake runs out, gets in the SUV, drives off. And Kalani Jordan gets the victory via countout over Blake Monroe. Um, so after that, we see Chase University in the back. Um, we got Chase. We got Kel Dixon and Uriah Connors, and then obviously Andre Chase. I may be mispronouncing some of their names. But we saw them in the back, obviously, and they were asking Andre Chase like what kind of chance they had tonight, going up against Hank Walker and Tank Ledger, Hank and Tank. Dang, I'm disappearing from the screen. I'm gonna definitely have to change this. I don't know if I can change it in the middle of the. I don't think I can. Yeah, I can't. I was gonna see if I could change it. But I can't. So, yeah, they asked Andre Chase like what kind of chance, and he was just like, not that great, like 1 in a million type thing, which was funny. Like Andre Chase is super funny. I enjoyed that little segment backstage. And then obviously we saw um Hank Walker and Tank Ledger, Hank and Tank, defending the titles against Dixon and Connors from Chase U. Um, really good match. Hank and Tank is since they won the belts from Praxium, they've been on a roll. It was an upset back then. I think I was one of the only people like from Team Uncut to pick. I think I was the only person to pick Hang and Tank to win. But they've had the titles here for a little bit now. So you know, everybody like everybody's basically. Oh yeah, yeah. I forgot about that. Yeah, I haven't got to that yet, but Edward, yeah, I have that down. Um, so really good match, but a lot of people I see in the IWC and these group chats like they're pushing like they really want like Hank and Tank to maybe come up to the main roster. I'm not really on that board. Like I feel like maybe we need a little bit more time. They need a longer title reign. I know like WWE, like the men's tag division on Raw, needs teams, but SmackDown is like stacked. Hopefully with this draft, maybe they can kind of shake it out, and you know make it a little bit better. We'll see, but yeah. So Hank and Tank get the victory. They hit the, let's see, whatever that move's called, the collision course or something like that. Um, you see me. Yeah, I see you. I guess. I mean, you're on here, so Cena showed up every day. Cody already missing. Cody's not already missing. He's gonna be on SmackDown Friday, so um, yeah. I'm not sure what. I don't know anything about that because Cody's going to be on SmackDown Friday. Um, but yeah. So after the match, we see Dark State show up for the first time tonight, which obviously we're going to see him again. They attacked, two members of Chase University and Hank and Tank. Dark State just doesn't take any prisoners. They don't care who it is. They're just going to show up when they want, and that's that. Another boring reign. Yeah, well, Cena's was pretty boring too. So, but we're talking about NXT, so I'm gonna shift gears. What's up, Trey? What's going on, bro? Long time no see, bro. Glad to see you're here. Had quite a few streams, but glad to see you're here, brother. And whoever this is says Iki's here. So, all right. So we saw Dark State, obviously. And then we saw the personal like assistant, the George from TNA. Obviously in the back we saw, JC Jane, Jasmine Nix, and Fallon Henley basically talking about JC's upcoming match Thursday in TNA when she's gonna put the TNA title on the line. Kind of sucks not having a two-man boot tonight to kind of go back and forth on thoughts, but how long JC's gonna hold two belts, I'm just not really sure about that. I think that, maybe a little bit long. She may lose Thursday. I doubt it, but I don't see her holding two titles too long. I do want to say this before I go any farther. Like, I don't know if it was just me, but like we saw Rusev and Sheamus fighting all night long on Raw, last night, and then tonight we got Nia Jackson, Lash Legend, basically repeating, which their fight was for me was way better. Rusev and them were just like basic stuff. But yeah, it was kind of like I was like, man, am I watching Raw again? Like it's just like rinse and repeat type thing. Yeah, so the personal concierge George come out from TNA. Basically, just talking to JC about the match. Her title defense coming up. Um, so then we see Miles Bourne in the back, and he's talking to Tavion Heights. Kind of hype, I guess, to hype up for Miles Bourne's match that's going to be coming up. And then we see the Cullen with Tatum Paxley, Izzy Dane. Little small stint with them, in the back. And then we see the video of Thea Hill. Not quite sure who she was talking to, but she was talking a lot of trash about Nia Jax, which later on she is gonna wish that she probably didn't do that. Because that was, yeah. But the video was a little funny, but obviously it was just building up for the Thea Hill Nia Jax match tonight. Um, so next we had next match we had was Miles Bourne going up against Lexus King. Um, I think for me one of the better matches tonight on NXT. I love Miles Bourne. Obviously not just for the reason that he's dating Stephanie Valcour, which makes him one of the luckiest human beings on the earth. Shout out to Miles Bourne for that. But yeah, he's also baby Randy Orton. Like he is, he could probably pass for like Randy Orton's brother or maybe even son. It's crazy how much they favor they favor each other. But it was a really good match with Miles and Lexus King. Um, ultimately, Miles Bourne ends up coming up with the victory. He hits the lifting reverse STO on Lexus King and gets the 1, 2, 3. And Miles Payne is victorious. Love to see that. Again, we see Dark State in the back, just kind of explaining like they don't care. They're going to show up when they want to show up, go after who they want to go after. Oh, and if you guys want to retweet, I'm sorry, I don't want to go off topic, but I didn't really have a chance to go on X. To say I was live or anything, but we are live on my YouTube. We're live on X, and we are live on the new website that was just built, the Front Row. So if you're not in the Front Row, the link is somewhere, either on my page or Zero's or Edward, or Acknowledge the Dynasty. You can sign up to get into the Front Row. We do watch alongs, a lot of content, videos, stuff like that right now. So, yeah, definitely want to get in that Front Row. But like I said, Dark State was in the back. Just small little promo, backstage promo, like we see WWE, wasn't really much to it. Same old stuff with Dark State. Next match we had was Dia Hill going up against Nia Jax. This match was I had to put that back up and Trey and the EVP. That's me, brother. It's crazy because I didn't give Tia Hill much of a chance. It was more like a David versus Goliath type match, so to speak. Um, she, Tia Hill was gonna have to use her, speed, agility, stuff like that. She did hit a big DDT on Nia, and one other pretty solid move that she hit on Nia. So yeah, it was, she held her on there for a little bit, but ultimately, Nia Jax just took complete control of the match, and she ends up getting Dia into the corner, comes up on second rope, hits the Annihilator, and once she hits that, that's a wrap. 1, 2, 3. Nia Jax gets the win. So after the match, Kelly Kincaid comes out to interview Nia. Obviously, Nia touched briefly on Thea Hill, but went straight into the attack on Lash Legend and stuff like that. And she called her out. And this is where we get to the segment to where it was kind of like a repeat of last night with, you know, Rusev and Sheamus was fighting all over the building. Like almost every other segment we saw Rusev and Sheamus last night. It's kind of the same thing here. Nia called out Lash Legend. Lash comes out. They exchange some blows. Obviously, then the refs and security break them up. And then that was kind of that for at this point in time on the night. NXT seems to move a lot faster than a WWE program. So, like, you got to really be paying attention because they'll go, like, straight from one segment to, like, a backstage promo to a match. Like, like that's one thing that I've noticed since I started watching NXT is, like, you really got to be paying close attention to everything that's going on. Man, I love this color of this Clash in Paris background. I really do. With the red. It's the blue, the white, and the red, and the new heavyweight champion of the world, Cody Rhodes, up at the top. Loving that. But yeah, So next we see Obafemi in the back, walk, making his way to the ring. And then obviously in between that, we see, let me put this comment. Nia is the OWG original women's GOAT. I don't know about that, Ed. That this lady right here at the bottom of my screen, the far right, the Queen Charlotte Flair. That's my goat. So, but we do see before Oba comes out, we see Ava, obviously the Rock final boss daughter, who she's been training. So I don't know. Could we be seeing a Ava in the ring soon? She's talking to Jordan Grace. Jordan Grace is in there demanding a match with Blake Monroe. Ava agrees. Ava says, majority of the locker room wants to see Blake get her ass kicked. Um, so Ava made it official. First match that was made official tonight would be Jordan Grace going up against Blake Monroe at NXT Heatwave on August the 24th. Looking forward to that. I'll kind of get to that at the end of the show. I'm going to be doing a NXT Heatwave predictions um, show, and then I'm going to do a recap as well, and then obviously Clash in Paris, same thing, predictions, recap. So I made a post on X, trying to get some new people to come on the show. So yeah, if you're interested, hit me up in the DMs, and we get something going, for sure. So that match is made official. We're going to see Jordan Grace and Blake Monroe at Heatwave. Excited about that match. I don't know where they're going to go because, let's see. I can't pronounce your name. I'm really sorry. Um, I'm just going to call you Keek Katori. What's going on, buddy? It's good to see you. Sorry if I can't pronounce your name, though. Yeah, I'm excited about the match. I don't really know what they're going because, like a while back, they were talking about Jordan was going to be going up to SmackDown after she lost to Stephanie McCoy, and we have not seen that happen yet. She's still in NXT. Now she's feuding with Blake Monroe, so I mean, you can't complain. I think that it's it's going to be a good. The feud's been good. I can't possibly see Blake losing at Heatwave. I know Jordan's lost a couple of times, but maybe this is like the final straw. Maybe Jordan does end up losing again and getting caught up when they do the draft. Um, and maybe possibly going up to SmackDown because I would like to see her against Julia again. Like I said on my Monday night recap last night. People are just blowing me my phone up that don't know I'm live. Um, like I said with Ever last night, like Julia needs some more opponents on on SmackDown. Um, And so, yeah, I think that this could be an opportunity for that to happen. Um, just one second, I'm taking a look at something. Yeah, so I would love to see Jordan go come up and maybe go after like the US title. Um, because Julia needs some new opponents. So after that, we see Oba. Sorry about the small interruption. People were like blowing my phone up. So Obafemi finally makes his way out there. Um, just crazy. He's so good. He's basically just saying, he's been champion over 200 plus days. Um, he said, "Who's next to step up?" He said, looking at the locker room, like he just doesn't really see anybody that is going to be able to take the title off of him. Oba does kind of do that every time after, he just beat Inamura and Josh Briggs in that triple threat. Every time he retains, but Oba's the real deal. When he gets up to the main roster, like, whew, look out, because he's already like 200 plus days in NXT champion. So obviously, during the middle of Oba's promo, we see the trick and A, uh, Trick Williams, the TNA World Heavyweight Champion, come out and interrupt Oba Femi. They exchange words. Oba lets Trick know you had never been able to beat me. Um, Trick's like, oh well, we can run this back. Um, next, I mean, he said that he wanted the next shot at Oba. Um, which he said he wanted to be a double champion, similar to what JC Jane is right now. With the NXT. Trick was like, yeah, like he's carrying both shows, TNA and NXT. Trick's character now, like, it's phenomenal, like in my book. And then we see Javon Evans come out. So yeah, that was wild. That was definitely one of my favorite segments. Edward says that was my favorite segment of the night. 100%. Definitely one of mine as well. We see Javon come out as well. Javon's talking trash to Trick. Paying a little bit of homage, respect to Oba as well. Saying, like, the Undertaker like hyped Javon up to go after Oba and go after that NXT championship. But we wasn't done with visitors. Moose from TNA, he showed up as well. So we had all four of them in the ring, which was just absolutely wild. So Moose is basically, letting Trick know, like, he's gonna take that TNA title from him. It's kind of just a back and forth with all four of them. Great segment, but here we go again. Dark State comes out. Just 1 second, shows comment. Edward said, fun fact, Moose wrestled at one of our shows over here. Yeah, that's awesome. So yeah, so we had Dark State come out again, and they attacked Moose, they attacked Javon Evans, they attacked Oba Femi, and they attacked Trick Williams, which I will get to that later. Which next week, we are going to see Dark State. I believe that's correct. Just 1 second. So we're going to see the four members of Dark State going up against Oba, Javon, Moose, and Trick next Tuesday on NXT, which that's going to be great. So then we see Ariana Grace talking to Stacks in the back, seeming like she's like kind of crushing a little bit on Stacks. Just a small little brief conversation. And then here we go again. Nia Jax, Lash Legend battling some more in the back. Like I said, I love this segment more than I did the Roots of Sheamus thing. Yeah. So then we go to Ren Sinclair and Charlie Dempsey in the back talking. You know, Ren's kind of trying to like hype Charlie up. And then, she said something about say his name and he'll appear. Basically start singing, kind of singing the music, and we see do you believe Joe Hendry show up. Rick Charlie Dempsey actually called Joe Hendry out, like basically called him um a virus. He told Joe Hendry he was a human virus. Um, so it looks like next week we're gonna get Joe Hendry going up against Charlie Dempsey. So next week it's already shaping up to be a good card, and then 2 weeks there in Philly, and we're gonna see some good matches there as well, which I'll get to here later on. So then we see after that we see Yoshiki and Amaro. I think I pronounced that right. If I didn't, and Amora, yeah, Yoshiki and Amora, going up against Stacks. Um, this was a hard hitting match. Great match. I thought it was excellent. Um, Inamura kind of reminds me of Gunther in a way, like with the chops. Um, just the way that he's very methodical in the ring. The chops is like really what catches my eye when it comes to Inamura in the ring. So that it was a very good match. So we do see Ariana Grace come out again. She actually slapped Inamura in the face, distracted the referee, and Josh Briggs comes out from behind Inamura, hits him with the big boot, and helps Stax Lorenzo get the 1, 2, 3 pinfall. So after this, we see in the back the North American champion, who he actually made it the Canadian title. We see him coming out, getting ready to come out to the ring. So he comes. Ethan Page gets out there. He's talking about Santino. How Santino just kind of couldn't cut it. Then he starts talking about some of the great Canadians. He mentioned Graham Bell. He mentioned Wayne Gretzky, Bret the Hitman Hart. But he said all ego said that he's the best Canadian there was. So let me put this comment out. Say his name and he appeared. Yep, Joe Henry appeared tonight. He'll be facing Dempsey next week. I see a lot of potential in Stacks. I'm invested in him. Yes, Stacks is sky's the limit for Stacks. I'm not mad at the title. All I had to do was to be born across the Detroit River to be Canadian. Interesting. Love that. So why he's talking about how he's the best Canadian ever? He is interrupted by Tavion Heights, who is confronting Ethan Page. So one of the biggest surprises for me, obviously tonight, during this segment, was not only did we see Ethan Page, once he started talking about like he was singing the Canadian national anthem. Well, we hear some music. Out comes Canadians' own Chelsea Green in the Secret Harvest, which was really great. So let's see. Something about Tavian said something about that. Oh, okay, I got it. Chelsea, she called basically called Tavian Heights a rude American. And then Tavion gets a cheap shot on Ethan Page. Almost hit Chelsea, which was wild that happened. And then we see Lola in the back with Fatal Influence. So letting them know like they're gonna have a match coming up soon. And then we see Zarya and Sol Ruka, the women's North American champion, in the back. And again, we see Nia Jax and Lash Legend still fighting in the back. So then we find out that Javon Evans and Trick Williams will go 1-on-1 in 2 weeks in Philadelphia on NXT with the winner. Oh yeah, yeah, she did. I agree. Chelsea made the segment goal. I love seeing some of the big WWE stars coming into NXT. So yeah, so Zarya and Sol was talking in the back, walking to the ring, or just backstage promo. Now Nia and Lash still fighting. Like I said, Javon and Trick will battle in 2 weeks in Philadelphia on NXT. The winner will face Ova Femi at NXT Heatwave. So Heatwave is shaping up to be a top tier PLE for NXT. I'm thinking we're gonna see Javon face Obafemi at Heatwave with that Undertaker push. I think we're gonna see we're definitely gonna see Javon face Oba at Heatwave. That's my prediction. And then there was another match made, obviously for Heatwave, and that is going to be Hank and Tank defending their NXT Tag Championships against two members of Dark State. So we already got Jordan Grace going up against Blake Monroe, and then the winner of Javon Evans and Trick Williams will face Ova Femi, which will be the main event, a Heat Wave, I'm assuming. And then we're going to see Hank and Tank going up against two members of Dark State for the tag titles. Next, we had a Ricky Saints interview, kind of talking about what's going on with Ryan. What's going on, Ryan? To be honest, bro, love it. You like the new background, bro? Have you seen that Javon Evans video that he did with FaZe Rock? I have not seen that. I will have to check that out over. But yeah, glad to see you here, Ryan. So yeah, we see Ricky Saints interview talking about Jasper Troy. So if you've been living under a rock, Jasper Troy was the season 1 winner of LFG. And he's starting to get that LFG push. I mean, he's already faced over Femi in a really good match. So I expect Jasper Troy at some point to be an NXT champion. I don't know when, but I do feel like at some point we're gonna see Jasper Troy as NXT champion. I haven't seen much of Tyra May Steele though, since she won the contract. I don't really know what's going on with that. And then tonight, like once we get to the end, I still had no idea that Sol Ruka was still the WWE Speed Champion too. So she's sold 2 belts. But yeah, talking about Jasper Troy. So next week they did some video package of some matches next week where we will see Lash Legend is going to be going up against Nia Jax next week on NXT. Because yeah, that match needed to happen. Obviously, like we saw at the end, like once I get to the main event, but they were still fighting. Like Nia, like speared her through a barricade. So next Tuesday we're gonna have Lash Legend going up against Nia Jax. Dark State is going to go up against Obafemi, Javon Evans, Moose, and Trick Williams. Fatal Influence is going to go up against Kalani, and I'm not sure who her. Oh, it's going to be JC Jane and Fallon Henley going up against Kalani Jordan. I don't remember who her partner is going to be. That's bad, but I really don't. But it will be JC Jane and Fallon Henley going up against Kalani, and her partner next Tuesday. So yeah, that's gonna be that's gonna be great. Also, we're gonna see Jasper Troy and Ricky Saints in 2 weeks, also in Philly. So not only are we gonna get Javon versus Trick for the winner faces Obafemi at NXT Heatwave. We're gonna see Jasper Troy and Ricky Saints in 2 weeks in Philly as well. If anybody knows who Kalani's partner is, you can kind of send in the comment. I have it written down, but it's terrible that I can't read my own writing because I'm like trying to like just take as many notes as possible. But yeah, we're gonna see JC Jane and Fallon Henley against Kalani Jordan, our partner, next week. So we get to the main event of the evening, and that is going to be for the women's NXT North American Championship. Sol Ruka, accompanied by Lazaria, versus Tatum Paxley. Obviously, Tatum Paxley come out with the Cullen, Izzy Dame, and the Cullen. Like I said, the Cullen's like we're trying to take Zarya out of the match. You saw Izzy Dame hand that doll to Tatum Paxley towards the end of the match. And then obviously we saw Nia Jax, like I said, come through, and appreciate that, Marks and Mikes, for reposting the stream. So yeah, we saw Nia Jax like spear Lash Legend through the barricade. Like it was just this was a match of the night for me. I love Sol Ruka. I think I don't know how much longer she's going to be in NXT. Like she is phenomenal. So like I said, we had the Cullen out there, and they did try to distract and help Tatum Paxley win, but ultimately they ended up costing her the win. Sol Ruka, it's the Soul Snatcher. That move is just so crazy good, guys. Like unbelievably good. Sol Ruka retains, and then she's holding the doll up, which is crazy. So like the show basically ended with Sol Ruka and Zarya in the ring, and Sol's holding up both titles. So she is still the WWE Speed Champion, along with the NXT North American Championship. So yeah, that was so. Like I said, next Tuesday we're going to see Lash and Nia. Dark State, all four members of Dark State are going up against Obafemi, Javon Evans, Moose, and Trick Williams. Fatal, JC Jane and Fallon Henley going up against Kalani Jordan, her teammate. And then in 2 weeks we got a heck of a card. And like I said, we already got Jordan and Blake signed up for. Let's see. Does anybody know who Kalani Jordan partner is going to be next week against JC and Fallon Henley? Please put that in the comments because I have it written down. But it's sad I can't read my own writing. I just have Kalani Jordan. I didn't write her partner down. That's terrible for me. But yeah, next week is shaping up. We're also going to see Joe Hendry in a match next week against Charlie Dempsey, Lash and Nia, and then JC Jane and Fallon Henley against Kalani Jordan and her partner next week. Yeah, so overall, I feel like it was a great show. So where I think we're going from here, when it comes to JC Jane, is I really feel like JC's probably everybody's calling for Blake Monroe to win the NXT title right now, but she's a heel, so like it doesn't really make a lot of sense why JC Jane is the champion. I think that they need to put the title on Jada Parker. I think Jada Parker needs to be the one to beat JC Jane, and then we could get that feud with Jada Parker and Blake Monroe, which would be face versus heel. Um, and then when the time's right, obviously, then they can put the title on Blake Monroe. But yeah, so we had a pretty good NXT tonight. I enjoyed it, especially getting to see Nia Jax, Chelsea Green. Um, I'm predicting Javon Evans going up against Oba at Heat Wave. I think that's going to be the match. I don't think that Trick is going to face Oba. I could be wrong, and it could be title for title, or not. Maybe not title for title, but it could be just for Oba's title. And then maybe we see a two title Trick. I don't know. I have a hard time seeing them take the title over right now, unless he's just gonna get called up to the main roster. But yeah, so that's pretty much NXT tonight, guys. It was a great show. This is obviously my first ever NXT recap, so I enjoyed it. Obviously last night I had Edward on. We did the Monday Night Raw recap, and all of that. So yeah, I'm not sure. It's not showing my screen in the back. So my demo screen. I don't know why you guys can't see that. Um, but going forward, just thank you everybody to everybody that tuned in. I see 41 on there. Thanks Marshall Mike for the repost, Edward, Ryan, Kika Tori, my boy Trey. Got to put that back up there. I love you, Trey. New Noise. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it on the comments tonight. Um, so going forward, just giving you guys some updates. I'm going to be every week. It's going to be a lot of the EVP. So next up for me is going to be Friday night at 10:30 p.m. Eastern. I will be back for my first Friday night SmackDown recap. Same time, same channel. So obviously, you can hit that like and subscribe if you're not subbed. Obviously, you can find me on X at the EVP CJP. Same thing with Instagram, and then on YouTube is at the EVP Show. Oh, it's showing Clash in Paris. Yeah, I didn't put my demo scene up there for some reason. Let me see if it'll do it while I'm just playing around with it. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna do it. Yeah, I don't know why I did that. Not sure. I'll have that fixed by Friday though. I'm just gonna have to change my background back to to the EVP show, the one I had from the beginning. I think I just forgot to put the demo scene back on there, honestly. But yeah, so you're gonna see me Friday at 10:30 p.m. Eastern. For I will be joined again by Edward. and we will be covering the SmackDown recap. Everything that's going to happen on SmackDown. We're going to see Cody Rhodes, possibly Brock Lesnar. Um, haven't really heard too much. Bianca Belair is supposed to be on there Friday, so looking forward to that. Going forward, just I'm letting everybody know. Like I made a post on X, like Marks and Mike's, World Elite Podcast. Shout out to those guys. Chair Shot Sports. I got my first start with YouTube with World Elite, and then Sports for You. I was on their show 3 or 4 times, 5 or 6 with World Elite, a couple of times with Chair Shot Sports. Marks and Mike's. Did try to we had a scheduling conflict. I was gonna come on there. Obviously, I didn't get a chance to come on there. But any of you guys, just hit me up. I got a lot of stuff going on, and I'm just gonna go through that really quick. So after the SmackDown recap Friday, I will be back Sunday at 11:30 p.m. Eastern. I don't know why they changed the LFG time to 10 p.m. Eastern, but it's advertised for 10 p.m. Eastern live Sunday. So Sunday I will be back again for my first ever LFG recap at 11:30 p.m. Eastern. So you definitely do not want to miss that. Um, yeah. So after that, then I will be back again Monday for my Monday night Raw recap. Then it just all starts back over again. I'm going back to NXT and then SmackDown, LFG every week. 4 recaps a week. On top of trying to go on other people's YouTubes. Um, Still can see me on Main Event Mondays, Main Event Fridays. Um, you know, Sometimes I'm hopping into Naja Dynasty's watch alongs when I can. It's just I'm really busy right now. I did just put um a pre-recorded video out on the 5 episodes of WWE Unreal that's on my channel, so you guys take a look at that. Let's see. Yeah, you did come on World Elite with me. I think that was like that was the second time that I was on there. Yeah, but you definitely were on there. But yeah, going forward, that's the schedule. 4 times a week. We're gonna have the Raw recap, the NXT recap, SmackDown recap, LFG recap until the season's over for LFG, and then it'll just be back to just Raw, SmackDown, and NXT until LFG comes back, or also sometime before the NFL season starts, me and Edward are going to do a special, what I call fantasy frenzy, is what I'm gonna call it. Where we're gonna come on here and I play a lot of fantasy football, so we're gonna come in here and talk about um, you know which picks you need, what I think and what he thinks from each position: the quarterback, the running back, the wide receiver, the tight ends. If you're in leagues with defenses, and kickers, obviously, I'm going to give you my takes on that. I got tons of draft. I think I'm in 13 fantasy leagues this year, which is a lot. I played 12 last year and I added an extra one this year. So we're definitely going to do something in that regards, to not get away from wrestling, but to kind of throw a little bit of football in there for you guys. But yeah, anybody wants to come on a recap, hit me up. I think the next big thing that I really want to promote and have some people on for that hasn't been on the show before, Edward, is I'm going to do a NXT Heatwave prediction show. So, I did have a 7-person panel for SummerSlam, which was huge. It went for almost 3 hours. I had Miami the Great, Final Boss Baby, Zero, and Leslie, Russell Faith, and Monty from Acknowledge the Dynasty on, and that was excellent. So yeah, I'm gonna have an NXT Heatwave prediction show, and followed by after the PLE, I'm gonna do an NXT Heatwave recap. And then after that, I'm going to do a Clash in Paris prediction show. And then after that PLE, I will be doing a Clash in Paris recap. So I have a lot of stuff, a lot of content coming out, working on some more shorts that's going to be coming out. I do have a few YouTube shorts out on the channel, so check those out as well. And the WWE Unreal pre-recorded that I have out. But yeah, thank you guys. Like I said, anybody wants to come on, like, especially some of the people I mentioned, I like to have some of the new people on and people that I've been able to be fortunate enough to come on their stream as well. I would love to have them on mine. Just because, they did kind of give me my start in YouTube. Yeah, that's pretty much it for me tonight. Obviously, my socials are not showing up because I don't have the right demo scene out. But you can find me on X, EVPCJP. Instagram is the same thing, and then YouTube is at the EVP Show. With that being said, guys, I will see you guys Friday night at 10:30 p.m. Eastern. It will be a 2-man booth. It will be me and the OTE Edward AK as we go through and dissect and recap Friday night SmackDown. That being said, I'm going to leave you guys with my outro video and the thank you, and then I'll be back for my final goodbyes. But thank you, everybody, and enjoy.
CJP's your guy, let's start the show. Tag teams picking, factions shaking. He's got the scoop for moves they're faking. Built on the line, dreams on display. The EVP show keeps the drama in play. Let's go, let's go. Where the heroes rise and the legends grow. CJP brings the shots, the EVP show is out of control.
All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed the outro video, which is the same as the intro. Credit to Zero and Ryan for helping me get. Man, it's a lot of work. If you're planning to get into YouTube and you're gonna try to do it yourself, like, unless you just have a whole lot of time, it's a lot of work. So big shout out to Ryan and Zero and everybody that's helped me get this thing started. Yeah, you guys give me a follow on YouTube, subscribe. If you're not following me on X, I don't know why. Definitely need to be. This was streamed on Twitter as well tonight, X, whatever, and also on the front row. So, like, if you want information on how to get into the front row, I will try. I can't pin it to my channel, but I will try to put it up there at the top, or you can just DM me and I can send you the link. You can come in there just as a free subscription, or obviously you can get the premium subscription, which I think maybe $2.99. I'm not 100% sure on that. I have to check with Zero on that. But thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I will see you guys Friday night at 10:30 p.m. Eastern, and I will have a co-host, Edward, aka the OTE, for the SmackDown recap. and Edward wants everyone to acknowledge us. All right, guys, thank you so much. I'll see you guys Friday night. Check out my stuff. If you want to be on my shows, hit me up. Got plenty. I'll take anybody on. Love to have anybody on. So hit me up, and I will see you Friday night. And this is the EVP on the EVP show. And with that being said, good night, everyone.